The Minolta Weathermatic I bought after watching a Grainy Days video in 2018. Hey, welcome back to the YouTube channel, guys. Usually I make film photography videos. I post every Friday, and I'm usually in a different location or trying a different film every week just to keep it interesting. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. I thought it was about time I sat down and kind of talked about what I use to create film related content. Just because I feel like nobody really does this a whole lot, and especially when it comes to gear, people in kind of the analog film community get a little bit pretentious from what I've noticed. So I'm going to give you a disclaimer. I've been shooting film since late 2018. I stopped about halfway through COVID when I stopped all my other photography. I recently picked up film again at the start of 2024, just because I got really tired of shooting digital. I was helping a lot of friends grow their own brands in totally different spaces of the internet. And I just kind of got to a point where I was like, I want to make something for myself, and I'd like to do it on film, at least for starters. So with all that being said, let's get into it. I'd like to talk about my main recording camera. That is the Canon EOS R, which I'm currently recording with, so I can't show you, and I don't have a mirror. So I typically use a 24-70 lens. It's the f4. Great lens. I never bought another lens for this camera up until maybe 6 months ago. I do really want a Canon EOS R5. However, I don't have $2,300 laying around to buy a refurbished model right now. So let's jump to my main film camera. This is my Canon AE1. You've probably seen in several of my videos. I think it's pretty cool. I haven't actually shot on the street with the power winder yet. I actually got it for free because the camera shop was throwing out a bunch of stuff, and I realized it fits the camera, so I tossed it on here. I used to shoot on a Canon EF, like just straight up Canon EF. It was a Japanese domestic market camera. It was very nice, simple to use, built like a tank. And then the light meter stopped working, so I had to sell it. Luckily, I got my money back. Bought this new in the box. I think it has been used and then just put back in the box. I'm shooting with the 35 to 105 millimeter lens. This lens is a 3.5 aperture all the way through, and it's a little bit different. I don't know the terminology, but I can focus here and then zoom all the way into 105, and that same plane of focus is still in focus. My other film camera is the Canon ELAN2. So this camera is a little bit different in that it shoots film, but it takes Canon EF lenses. Now, I had purchased my AE1 because my Canon EF took FD lenses, and I already had a collection going. I bought this for the same reason. After my camera broke and I decided I wanted a backup for my backup. I already had a bunch of EF glass, so I can use this camera with any of my EF glass. And this is actually what I shot a majority of my hash bash photography with, if you have seen that video. It even has a built-in flash. Hang on. It even has a built-in flash, which I think's pretty cool, and that came in handy when I was doing a little location scouting in that abandoned cabin. If that video's come out yet, I don't know. It also has autofocus. It's pretty fast, pretty convenient. So while we're talking about EF glass, we have to talk about the Canon EF 70-200. This is the f2.8. This is an L series lens. I don't know which one. I know there's like a USM, and there's like an ISM, and there's all these different SMs. I don't know which one this is. It has a couple different focus modes, and I don't know. It's one of my favorite lenses, and it lets in a lot of light for how far you can zoom in. I've actually been considering picking up a 1.4 teleconverter just so I could reach out a little bit further and hit 280 millimeters. Canon, sponsor me. Canon, sponsor me, please. Canon, please sponsor me. Canon, no. Canon, don't sponsor me. Please don't sponsor me. So let's talk a little bit about this GoPro. This is the GoPro Hero Session, and I'll wear it on a little chest mount as though I'm a cop beating the life out of an innocent civilian. Gets some funny looks sometimes, but it gets the job done. If you're thinking about buying a GoPro for some POV photography like I was, I would recommend maybe don't. I mean, for my workflow and my style, it just doesn't really help much because I like to take pictures of like details and things happening in a crowd, and this doesn't pick that up. If you buy a GoPro, buy it someplace that lets you return it so you could buy it, go test it out for a weekend and see like, was that footage actually usable or not? Now, when I went to Italy, I really wish I had a GoPro so I could have filmed a lot more of the active stuff we did, such as bike riding. Unfortunately, I missed out on that footage, but you know, I'm not going to cry about it on YouTube. Like, I'll do that before bed or maybe in the shower. So the final piece of equipment I'm going to show you is my DJI Mavic Mini Pro 4. This drone is so nice. I love it so much. I've used it on digital shoots. I've used it on film photography shoots. It's a very nice camera for shooting both digital and horizontal. I have flown this boy in some high winds. I've flown this boy in the fog. I have flown this boy in the snow in my Grand Rapids videos. It's been a great drone. As far as video editing goes, I use DaVinci Resolve because it's free. It saves me a little bit per month on my Adobe subscription. That's pretty neat. I also use Lightroom Classic for my negative scanning, and I use Negative Lab Pro. It's a plugin for Lightroom. It's pretty sick to actually convert my negatives into positives, and then I can edit it almost like a lab scan, but you're using your DSLR to take the scan. I would say if you're getting into photography or if you're looking to upgrade your stuff or try and make content, first and foremost, always use what you have. Please don't go and buy a $2,000 camera to start talking about soccer. Use your phone, use your voice notes, use your mom's phone, whatever you want to do. Just don't go and dump that money unless you're going to do it because you're already making money on your content or because it's simply enjoyable to you. I hope this was interesting to you guys. A little bit of a behind the scenes look here of how I make my content. I know it probably doesn't look like it, but I really try hard. If you're still watching this video, please go ahead and give me a big thumbs up. It does help. It makes me feel very good too. And drop a sub if you're new. Thanks.